All right, so you're thinking about moving to Southlake, Texas, but you're not quite sure, all the good things and the bad things about what it's like to live in Southlake. So you want to know the pros and the cons. Well, then you're going to want to make sure to stick around for this video because that is exactly what I'm going to be talking about today and sharing with y'all all of the pros and cons of living in Southlake, Texas. So if this is a place that you're looking to move, then you're going to want to stick around because we're going to get after it right now. So if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Fort Worth, Texas or Southlake, which is what we're talking about today, make sure that you click that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the current markets here in Fort Worth. My name is Travis Plum. My business partner Levi and I, we get so many calls, texts, and emails from people just like you and you and you and you and you looking to make their move to Fort Worth, Texas, and we absolutely love it, y'all. So whether you are looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, make sure that you give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, or you can even schedule a Zoom meeting to meet us face to face in the description below. Now, in this video today, I am going to be talking about all the pros and the cons of living in Southlake, Texas. If you've seen any of my other videos, I've done a Southlake vlog where I actually walk around. You can see some of the shopping and some of the beautiful views in Southlake. You can see I went to 4 different homes, priced anywhere from about $600 to just over $1 million. So you can really get a good idea of exactly what it is that you can get for your money living in Southlake, Texas. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check out the Southlake vlog. And if you're not sure where Southlake is or its relation to the DFW airport or its relationship its relation to Dallas or Fort Worth, make sure that you check out the Southlake map video, because on that video I actually describe exactly where everything is. I show you on the Google Maps where everything is. So if you get a second to check that out, you'll really enjoy it. It'll give you a really good idea of where Southlake is and where everything is in relationship to that. But in this video, I really wanted to focus on the pros and cons because lately we have had a huge influx of clients coming from California, Minneapolis, Chicago, New York, all over the country, and they're very interested in Southlake. And they always ask me one thing, Travis, what is bad about Southlake? I know everything is so good about Southlake. What are some of the cons? So I'm going to go over the pros and the cons because, quite frankly, if you're looking in Southlake, there's not too many cons when it comes to living in Southlake, but I'm going to get to those. So you're going to want to make sure that you stick around to the very end of this, because the first thing I want to talk about is, as you know, I have 2 little kids. I have a 4.5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So education is extremely important. And one of the things that I really love about Southlake is their education system. One of the beautiful things about their school systems is if you're going to the Carroll ISD, the Carroll schools, you have elementary school, you have middle school, and you have high school. So that basically means that, one of the things about Southlake is it's a really tight-knit community. So if your kids are going into school at elementary school, they are going to grow up with those other children all the way through elementary, middle, and high school. So they're a really tight-knit, very bonded community. And that's one of the things I love the most about the Southlake is obviously the bond there. And you'll notice that you see the dragons everywhere. That's their mascot, right? It's dragons this, dragons that. Everyone wants to be a dragon, and that's because of the bond. That's because kids can grow up and stay with their classmates for 12 years, all the way from elementary school, all the way through high school. And their philosophy is that it's not just a mascot, it's about your heart, your mind, and your spirit. And that's one of the things that I really love about the philosophy, and that is just all of Southlake. The ambiance of Southlake is just very upbeat. It's very clean, and it's something to be very proud of, and it's very elegant. So living there, having that type of mindset, especially for me with my 2 children, that is very, very, very important because, mindset is everything, right? You want your kids to be successful. You want them to be surrounded around like-minded individuals that want success for their children as well. So the education system is top-notch. You have some of the best schools in the entire country, definitely in the entire state of Texas. So education, that's number 1 for me. That's number 1 for my children. And I figured, that would be one of the first pros that I would start off with. The second one is going to be pro number 2 is going to be the livability, okay? Living in Southlake, it is just an incredible experience all the way around. I'm sure you've seen from other videos, but It's very, very safe, okay? They have a very strong police force. You're not going to be getting away with things like speeding, running stop signs and running red lights and just all around, getting into trouble, because Southlake, they have it on lock, and that's exactly what you want. If you're going to be spending that type of money to be living in Southlake, you want that city to be safe and clean, and that is exactly what it's going to deliver. I mean, the livability in Southlake is very, very clean, very safe, and then everything is around you. You don't have to go more than a couple miles to get to the nice restaurants. You don't have to go anywhere but just a couple miles up the road to get to all the nice shopping. You're only a couple minutes away from DFW Airport. You're 20 minutes away from Fort Worth, 20-30 minutes away from Dallas. So the livability all around in Southlake is going to be top notch. It's some of the best that there possibly is. Okay, so pro number 3, it's going to be that there is very, very low poverty, okay? Now, if you don't know, you're gonna know by the time we get done with this video. Southlake is very much for, you got to bring your pocketbook if you're wanting to live in Southlake. It's it could be a very expensive city. The average home is $676,000. So it's not exactly the cheapest area, which is great. I mean, if you're looking to move into Southlake, that's exactly what you want. They have extremely low poverty, and there's 94% of the people who are in Southlake are actually owning their properties. There's a very, very, very few people renting, and there are absolutely no apartments in Southlake. So, when it comes to low poverty, that's one of the pros of living in Southlake. It's very, very upper class. The shopping, the schools, the eatery, everything there is going to be very, very top-notch, upper class. So if you're looking for something like that, Southlake is really where you want to be. All right, now pro number 4 is going to be recreation, right? There is so much stuff to do in Southlake and the surrounding suburbs around it. You'll never run out of fun things to do. When it comes to recreation, Southlake actually has 17 different parks. So there are parks, there are ponds, there's so much fun stuff to do. They have all sorts of recreational facilities as well. So if your kids want to play basketball, if your kids want to play soccer or hockey or football, or they want to dance, like my little girls, they go to their dance school right here in Southlake as well. So there's so much fun stuff to do. And then of course, you're just south of Grapevine Lake. So again, we are very big on the lake life here. So if you like, hopping on the boats, if you like, camping, hiking, cooking out and grilling out like on the lake, you're right there. I mean, that's why Southlake is called Southlake. It's right south of the lake. So if you like the outdoors activities, it's really one of those places you're going to want to check out. And when it comes to these 17 parks, they are absolutely beautiful. Obviously, I can't list them all, but I have been to several of the parks and they're absolutely stunning. They're very clean. They have nice walkways. People are always out walking their dogs, enjoying their life. And I'm a big fan of the cleanliness of the neighborhoods and in the parks. You're going to see people, if they're walking their dogs and their dog has to go number 2, you're going to actually see people they're going to actually pick it up. Like, people are actually very clean and very considerate of other people. I mean, I've been in some other places where it's not quite like that, but they leave their dog poop like laying on the ground, right? I mean, to me, that's disgusting. And that's one of the things that I love about the parks there, is that they're all really, really clean. They're all mowed. They're always taken care of. And so that's one of the great things about Southlake, is all of the outdoor activities, all of the recreational things to do. And then of course, like when it comes to sports, there have been several athletes, professional athletes coming out of Southlake. So if your kids are big into sports and dance and music and just, intellectual, just all of it, all the way around, you want to take a look at Southlake, because you can really get your kids in an environment that is set up for success and set up for them to be able to win big. So that's another one of the pros. And pro number 5, I think I'm on pro number 5. I always lose track when I'm counting these things. But the last pro is going to be that it is, there's many more pros, but for this video, it's very well established, okay? So some people may consider that a con, which we'll kind of get to it here in just a second. But, I love the mature trees. I love that the town has been established for a very, very long time. So you're going to find some really nice homes there that are older. You're going to find homes that are, 20, 30 years old, but they are very well established. Like if you check out, make sure you check out the vlog on Southlake. I go to some of the neighborhoods where you may get a little bit of an older house, but you're getting a bunch of land. You may be able to get 1, 2, 3 acres depending on your budget, but you can actually get a very nice house. And even though some of these houses are a little older, most of them have actually been completely redeveloped on the inside. They have all the fancy kitchens and the fancy bathrooms, and they've been completely upgraded on the inside. So yes, it may be a little older, but they're very, very nice, and they're sitting on some beautiful lots. I'm telling you, there are lots in Southlake where just right across the street you have white picket fences and you have horses running around and you have cattle. I mean, it's just really, really beautiful. And then there's other areas that are just completely wooded, and then you have these big, nice, beautiful homes sitting on 1 or 2 acres with all these trees and all the woods going around it. I mean, it's magical. I mean, the city just all the way around is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. So if you are coming to Texas and you are interested in Southlake and that's something that your pocketbook can afford, make sure you hit us up, because I'll make sure to drive you around, show you where all those spots are so you can see, pick out. There's a bunch of different good neighborhoods all throughout Southlake. So we can go look at neighborhoods that, have bigger lots, or we could go look at neighborhoods that have, bigger houses, but maybe a little bit smaller lot. There's a really good variety of homes, but the city all the way around is just very well established. And I think that, if you're coming here looking for something, serene and peaceful and clean and safe, Southlake is definitely one of the places you got to check out. All right, so I wanted to talk about the cons, and the big con is there really isn't any. Okay, so I mean, I have done a bunch of research, and I have talked to many people, that live in Southlake. I live literally right on the outskirts of Southlake, and really, quite frankly, I can't find any cons when it comes to Southlake, unless you're doing something illegal, right? If you're doing something illegal, you're gonna get busted. Southlake is very, very safe. But other than that, there's really not, many cons. Now, I would say that one of the cons, con number one, is going to be, that they're older homes, okay? Some people really enjoy the older homes. Like I said, they're remodeled, they're beautiful on the inside, but Southlake, there's not a lot of new construction unless you can find an available lot, which can be kind of pricey, and then meet with an architecture and have a custom home built. You can do that. I see new construction being built, but they're one-offs. There are no big, huge new construction communities. So, excuse me. So for the most part, you are going to be looking at homes that are 80s and 90s and 2000s. But again, the homes are absolutely beautiful. But if I had to say, I personally like the newer homes, 2018 and newer. That's my style. But if I had to pick one con, I guess that might be it. And then the second thing, the con number 2, would potentially be cost of living. It is just a more expensive upper class city. When you're looking at, Walmart and Kroger, etc., gas, things like that, they're relatively the same going outside of Southlake to go into, Flower Mound or Keller or Dallas. You're talking, a few pennies here, a few pennies there, maybe on gas and groceries and stuff like that. If you're looking, at the same eggs versus the same eggs, right? So the cost of living there isn't that much, but again, the median home price is close to $700,000. It's just over $676,000. And the average income for people living in Southlake is over $240,000 a year. So if, that could potentially be a con, I guess. But if you're looking in Southlake, more than likely you can afford Southlake. And if you're looking in Southlake and you're not willing to be very competitive in the marketplace, there are other cities that are very good, that have great school systems, that have much more affordable homes. So, make sure that, if you're looking in Southlake, and let me give you a little update, because we've been doing quite a bit of business in Southlake. It's still a really hot market. There's not a lot of homes that come available on the marketplace. And if they do come available on the marketplace, they're usually sold, very quickly. Even homes that are in the millions of dollars, $1 to $2 million, those homes are selling within a week to 2 weeks tops. And if you want to understand, the market, a lot of these homes, they are still bidding over. Now, there's been, it seems like, less bids coming in as far as the number of bids that are coming in. But when it comes to actually people overpaying for homes, people are still doing whatever it takes to get their house in Southlake. We have seen homes that go $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 plus over the list price. Yes, that is still going on. And I just want you to be aware of that because it's August, 2021, and we are still seeing some overbidding. Like we were working on one that was 1.2 million and we were coming in at 1.3. And the listing agent told me, hey, Travis, that is going to be in the top running, but doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win that actual house. So even at $100,000 over, wasn't guaranteed that we were going to win that property. Now, this house was absolutely beautiful. It was perfect. It had a great backyard. It had a great pool. So that's why those homes are going, $7,500, $100,000 over. If you're in Southlake and you're looking for something that maybe needs a little TLC, a little tender love and care, then you may be able to find a little bit better of a deal. And then obviously looking for homes that have been on the marketplace for over 2 weeks. I know that's kind of like crazy to say that 2 weeks is a long time, but looking at homes that are 2, 3, 4 weeks on the marketplace that maybe need a little bit of love. Those are the homes if you're looking for a somewhat better of a deal. That's maybe a good place for you to start, or you could just obviously reach out to us and we'll help you navigate these crazy times right now, because I've seen homes go, in Southlake up to 300,000 over. Now that was a couple months ago when like things were super, super, super crazy. I haven't seen that since, but I mean, we're here to help you navigate this. There's a lot of good cities. There's a lot of great communities, even outside of Southlake. So, make sure that you reach out to us. If you're looking to move to Dallas and you're looking to buy a home, make sure that you reach out to us. Just give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We are happy to help you make a smooth move to Texas. I hope everyone enjoyed this video just as much as I did enjoy making it. And if this is your first time, please make sure that you subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. And of course, leave some comments. Like, let me know what you like. If I left anything out, if you want some more information, make sure that you leave some comments below for us. I'm always on there. I'm always answering. I'm always responding. And so, we really love the feedback. So again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, tap the bell for notifications so you can always be the first to learn about the current markets in Fort Worth. Thanks again, everybody, and I hope to see you around town.